Hey, welcome in everyone. We are back with our World Cup DFS show going every single night for the World Cup. Well, we missed a couple for Thanksgiving, but what are you going to do? You got to eat a little turkey every once in a while. I'm Nolan
Yep.
Kelly, your host, here with Jovanni Vidal. We are going to be breaking down tomorrow's four-game slate. We have two at 10 a.m. Eastern, two at, 11? I get my time zones mixed up very easily. They are going concurrently, though, 9 a.m. and 1 Central, so 10 and 2 Eastern. We got Netherlands, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and then Group B action, a must-win for USA versus Iran and Wales versus England. We'll just go through each of these games, break them down for you, give us our favorite plays. Jovanni, what's going on, man?
Yeah, it's all good. The four games will be a lot better, I think, because it's going to be the ownership should be spread out a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
not that much, but a little bit more, and enough that there will be, I think, some good spots, and I
And I
think
hope these.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I think the salaries on some of these players, I couldn't even believe it. I think it's completely mispriced. We'll get into that.
Cool, yeah, and I think we'll see maybe some bigger contests. We got 5,800 tomorrow on DraftKings, so not too shabby, and maybe a little bit less showdown, obviously, for some of these four gamers for the final match day of each group. Let's kick things off with Netherlands versus Netherlands minus 450 favorites, Qatar plus 1,400. Netherlands sitting atop the group with 4 points and a 2 goal differential. Qatar obviously last. So why don't we start with Qatar and then we'll get into Netherlands. We were talking before the show and you were saying how you think that it's possible, obviously, that if the Netherlands gets up, they will be starting to pull some players when they are up. But on the Qatar side, Pedro Miguel, Abdel Karim Hassan. It looks like Almoez Ali and Akram Afif were really good values for us earlier on. Not so good here. What do you see? What do you like? How many Qatari players are you getting to?
Uh, Not a lot. I think I have no issues with their minutes because they just don't have enough to. Even though they've been eliminated, they don't have enough to really put up a competitive side, and I think they want to go out with some, like at least a goal or some fight to it. I don't think that they want to people to start thinking that they only qualify because they're the host nation. Um, as far as Afif, he even against lesser sides, he's just proving it. They're not getting enough set piece volume for him, so he's starting to grade out a little lower. I like the defenders. If you want a one-off option, they're cheap enough, like Pedro Miguel, because he will push up a little bit on offense, and he does have the defensive metrics. I think Hassan as well. Hassan does shoot from long range. It's not very accurate. It's like a field goal kicker in football, but yeah, he at least the defensive metrics are there, and I expect Netherlands will control time of possession, and it's hard. It makes it hard then to get to the any of the offensive players, especially with 4 games.
Yeah, it makes sense. We're probably going to be looking at a Netherlands onslaught here, especially given the way Qatar has looked so far. So we won't spend too much time on them. I think Pedro Miguel obviously makes for a good value play with a 2.09 value rating. I think he's number 2 on the slate. I just looked it up, so that's pretty good. Seems to be some pretty cheap defense options as well. Cody Gakpo has been crushing it. He's gotten a lot of ownership we've seen recently. Looks like he is also rating out as a pretty good value, though he is expensive. Memphis Depay as well up front, 14.56 points. What are you seeing here that you like on the Netherlands side?
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing I thought is when Depay came in, and he came in exactly at halftime. Uh, Gakpo still was taking the corner sets at least. I don't know if that has to do with the like the easing in of Depay or not, but I, I'm not sure that Depay will get a full run. Again, he was straight up said that before the previous game that if he didn't start, he was going to only work 45 minutes, so come in at half. If he starts, I he can score, and he is like the leading scorer, and the shot volumes all flow through him with the Netherlands. But I think he is still only going to run 45 minutes. That hasn't been confirmed, but like we had mentioned before, what would they actually like? There's no reason for them to start risking injuries to especially Depay or even Cody Gakpo. So
Especially if they get up early as well,
right,
right? So if they get up early and he doesn't start, you would say you probably won't even see him in the game, I would guess, right? Rest him. Is
correct.
that
And then
possible?
yeah, so I mean, it's hard to not play one or two people from the Netherlands. It's just you're really chasing who's going to score that goal before subs start coming in. I do like Akpo just because at least while they're trying to find again a draw is not necessarily, it's not the end of the world, but it's not going to get to them atop the group if Ecuador wins. So they will want the win, but so for that reason, Gakpo still makes sense to me with
And
the
also,
indirect sets. Yeah,
if he is going to score, like if he is going to get pulled, it's likely scenario that they will be up. At least probably 2 goals, which is also a likely scenario given the spread and the odds, their odds to win. So, and he's a very likely candidate to score them. The new Manchester United man, it looks like as well, by the way. But I'm guessing he will be pretty heavily owned too. So maybe the most owned forward on the slate.
yeah, and then well, first off, that sucks for him if he went to Manchester United, but no, the I mean, some pieces around him that I think make sense because they're coming at a lower like price point. Frankie De Jong, I don't have any issues with. He is at least with the creating chances, so you can maybe get him on the upside of an assist. They're going to control the possession. They're going to push back Qatar, and it's worse for Qatar if they actually try to push up and try to score instead of just keep it like a manageable game. Because the speed of the Netherlands is going to be hard to to not concede against. And
Right.
yeah, De Jong's interceptions make sense for me, especially in the midfield, and then he can outlet pass. Um, Dumfries as a GPP option, I think he still will get overlooked because his price is not coming down. Uh, I believe Coop Miners might get the start, and he did well. He just ran a very small amount in their previous match, but he was scoring at a good DFS rate had he not come out. So that is going to be the biggest concern. For that reason,
Awesome. Yeah,
I would
makes
not
sense.
get
Like
more than two Netherlands for me, even though their odds are in GPP. I wouldn't talk anybody off of a 3-man Netherlands stack, but again, there's 4 games, and I'm really concerned about like the minutes runs. I'll just try to chase like the two crossing volumes until they score, or one of the goal options, and that might just be solely Gakpo.
cool. Let's move it on. Senegal versus Ecuador. We have Ecuador plus 145, Senegal plus 215. Ecuador's looked pretty good. They pulled out a draw against the Netherlands as well last time out. So that looked 1-1 draw. And I think they had a goal disallowed. I can't remember, though. Everything's a blur at this point. But let me just pull this up on the screen here. Ecuador, Enter Valencia, I think, is going to be pretty good option at $8,500. He's just been dynamite this tournament as well, and good bet to score a goal. Purvis Estupinian as well, getting a lot of cross volume. Angelo Presidio, I don't know how to say his name. Anybody else you're looking at here? What are your who's going to be your most owned players on the Ecuadorian side?
Pedro Stupian is for me. He, I believe, has moved to midfield, like on DraftKings at least, and but he is the taking the indirect sets and his open play volume, like even shots he's taking from distance, and Preciado is fine too, especially that he's I believe the defender spot on DraftKings. So you can get the upside if there's a clean sheet. That should help him. His crossing volume is fine. His defensive metrics are fine, and then the clean sheet would just be like enough to push him over like a 2.1 x value. From the offensive side, I do think Senegal is a better team than what the odds show. So I'm hesitant to go with like a Michael Estrada or a Gonzalo Plata, just because if you're going to chase the goals, it seems that in any set pieces and any open volume, they're always trying to look for Enner Valencia. Now, Valencia's price is tough to get to for me. The goal definitely could be there, but I think you can find goals at the similar price range from even paying a little bit up for Gakpo or from the other matches. I think is strictly goal hunting. The problem with Valencia for me is that he scored big. He obviously had the brace in the first game and then a goal last game. But if he doesn't get the goals, you're really struggling at that price tag of 8,600.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Though, like he has been kind of the focal point of this offense, so I don't
Right.
think like he's a terrible play. But
No.
whereas like some of these other forwards have not really shown up so far, especially Estrada, just like hasn't really done much. And Moises Caicedo as well is playing way deep. I don't know why he's listed as a forward on DraftKings, right?
Yeah, that's a mistake. Even he's never played forward.
Yeah.
Even on Brighton, he's a midfielder. Although on Brighton, he sometimes attacks a little bit more. But
Shockingly, DraftKings had the wrong positions in there. All right, let's move it on over to the Senegalese side. Senegal here needing a win over Ecuador in order to make it through to the next round. Ecuador will just need a draw. So what do we have here on the Senegalese side? Looks like 3 players, including I never say it right. My
Ismaili Sarr.
Ismaili Sarr from Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton.
Watford.
Watford. Idrissa Gueye and Yusuf Sabali, 5,967, 4,400. What are we doing here? Boulay Dia as well has had a couple of chances. So looks like all those guys are rating out as decent options, but no one really stands out other than Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, I mean I like the Senegal side, and I think I will be on them more than a lot of the public, just because their money line odds don't suggest that they really have a chance in this game. But I'm on the counter of that point. It's I really like Yusuf Sabali. Open play, he's fine. He pushes up more so than I expected him to before the tournament. His defensive metrics, and he's going to get enough chances for. He runs the risk of committed fouls, but he'll get enough chances for 1 tackles and interceptions. He's on the side of Pervis Estupiñán. So them two going back and forth at each other. Yes, the foul commit is not such a drastic unless they start drawing cards, but at least the chances for interceptions, 1 tackles, I do like that as a floor. And then the upside would be if he can get some crosses and some shot volumes. Ismaili Sarr is obviously a good play to me. His created chance rates are there, and his drawn foul rates are there. So, and I think because his ownership is going to come in low again because of the money line odds, and he's not on any indirect sets, with the exception of the penalties if they were to draw one. I think he's going to come in low enough that I have no issues with it in a GPP. But the best play for me in this is Idrissa Gueye, because he is on the indirect sets. I know his shot volume's not there, but his creative chances are enough, and his price tag is so cheap. I thought it would have came up to like 52, 5,500. So for the floor that he can get you at, like, what is it, under 5,000? It's like 4,800 or something, the price tag. For that, I have no issues with him. He will be probably my highest owned play, just because it opens up so much salary for anybody else. A good,
Right.
To me, the only other thing I'd say is, like, for GPPs, if you want like a one-off goal hunter, Famara Jiju is he did score the previous game. He didn't play before that, but his price tag is like for the forward spot, he helps you get a lot of the set piece volume guys, and he'll even help you get a good amount of floors from the other teams,
That's a
along
good
with
point. Just
Eder Valencia.
and his price actually dropped off the last game when he played Qatar. $3,900 for a forward. Those I kind of like taking those options every once in a while because if they pot a goal, then you are sitting pretty and you've got a really cheap option in your forward spot, and it just opens up so much. And it's kind of hit or miss as well because, like, sure, he might goose egg, but he also, it just takes one event for him to like quadruple his value or quadruple his price tag. So, big fan of that as well. And he played 74 minutes last game too, so it's not like there's he's probably going to see some minutes too.
Yeah, exactly. And also with that is he takes up the forward spot and lets you get a lot more floor plays. There is so many defenders and center backs that people take chances on at that price range of $32 to $3,700, and the team gets scored on, and then you're hoping for like 1 or 1.5 DraftKings points.
Makes sense to me. Why don't we take a minute to talk about our sponsor, No House Advantage? $50 free. Just click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and we will deposit match you if you bet 50, or if you deposit $50, you get $50 in your account. It's that easy. They have great contests. They've got versus the house, so you can get 21 multipliers every time if you bet a bunch of or if you place a bunch of picks on the over under for their contests, and just really, really good stuff if you're not in a betting legal state as well. They have really good contests, lots of overlay. Can't say enough of good things about our presenting sponsor, so please help us out. Keeps these vids free, keeps our sponsors happy, keeps Jovanni and I with roofs over our heads. You know how it is. All right. Any final thoughts? I guess I should have wrapped up there. Any final thoughts on Senegal, Ecuador?
No, I think there's good values from both sides, and it's because of the importance of the game. Like a win helps. Well, a win is a must for Senegal. A draw helps Ecuador, but a win would put Ecuador in a better position. So I think both teams will be going for the win. And if one team scores a goal, it's probably going to be a fireworks show back and forth with counter attacks and with attacking. So it's a good spot, even like for a sneaky game stack.
Yeah, agreed. We saw that as well. We've seen a couple of those pan out, especially today with was it Korea and Ghana going toe to toe. It was a great game. All right, let's move it on. We got 2 games left. Of course, these are the games that you all want to watch in Group B, with Wales taking on England and USA taking on Iran in a must-win game. Why don't we start with England and Wales? England minus 220, Wales plus 700. England fans, team, coach, no one happy with their performance against Team USA. Team USA looked really good, I thought. Full value, probably deserved a better fate, honestly. Really impressed with a lot of the players on that team during that game. Why don't we start with the English side? Looks like you have Mason Mount starting. He started both games before, so I don't know why he wouldn't. Bukayo Saka, who's looked really dangerous at times and invisible at others, I guess. Kieran Trippier, who's featured heavily in our lineups thus far. Harry Kane, who's got a little knock, he's picked up, but will probably play. And Luke Shaw seem to be the top values on there. Everything else is looking a little sketchy. How are you attacking the England side?
England, I think, is in a similar situation to Netherlands, where they can't rely on a draw, and obviously they don't want to lose the game. But if they find 1 or 2 goals, I think it's going to be starting to pull some guys. Now, Wales has a tough defense, and they're going to be going for. Mathematically, I guess they're not eliminated, right? But they need to win by like a goal differential of 6 or something like that. So they're going to be pushing for goals. I think England can wait and then counter attack, or they go for like 2 goals, 1 goal, and then start pulling guys out. But
I don't think that's the goal differential. So if Iran and USA tie, Iran would be on 4 points, USA would be on 3. Wales wins, then they would go through on goal differential because Iran is -2 right now. A Wales win, so they really just need to win and hope that Iran and USA tie, right?
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay, cool. Just making sure I had that right. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, Wales, because they're looking for the win. They're not going to just try to get by and manage the game. I think they have good spots, but we're on the England side first. And the English side, to me, Mason Mount is low enough. His price is low enough where I'm willing to take chances on him because I don't think he'd be one of the guys coming out if they start subbing out other guys because he's trusted it like around the midfield and in the attack. I think Harry Kane would be more of a risk to come out because I don't understand why they keep just rolling him out there. Obviously, they need to win.
You could see
But
like a 1-for-1 Rashford Kane swap, which we haven't seen at some point, right? I think if that happens, but
yeah, or Caleb Wilson, I think would like the striker up top. Rashford, I could see coming in for Raheem Sterling or Bukayo Saka, but for me,
not as a traditional 9.
no, because even in Manchester United, he's been playing as an attacking wing. But so for me, for England, it's really just one or two guys, and I think it would be it's going to be in GPPs, it would be a mix and match, like a Saka Mount combination or Mount Sterling combination from the attacking side. My main focus would be on the defense. Obviously, the set piece man. Luke Shaw to me is still too cheap, and Kieran Trippier is fine. If Trippier, I'm not going to say he wouldn't start again, but I don't know if he goes the whole game. He's a big piece to lose, especially on that defense. He's really the only competent defender on that defense. So
He's
I don't
also
know if I
he
can
also
get
picked up
surprised.
a knock late in that game as well against USA. Like it looked like he might get subbed off there for a minute, but though I haven't seen any reports that he's injured at all, but seems possible. What I just have one question. Oh, it looks like we have Jude Bellingham out as well. You got Jordan Henderson starting in there instead?
Yeah, I saw two different projected lineups that had Henderson in. I mean, if Bellingham is in, I would like him more because of his he is getting involved in the offense, and you could rotate him with Mound. I believe he's still more expensive than Mound, so like a leverage play because Mound would get a higher ownership just being a lot cheaper. Bellingham, I wouldn't mind playing. I'm not sure how because he came off of injury, correct, in the USA game.
Who's that?
Bellingham, I believe, because he
Oh,
wasn't he replaced by Jordan Henderson.
I didn't think he was injured, but I could be wrong on that. I wasn't sure, but I think it was just a tactical sub. But don't hold me to that one.
All right. Well, I mean, Henderson, I have no issues. I mean, I have no interest in playing at all because I think he stay back as a more defensive role. They have enough attacking, and then their two fullbacks are going to push up. But Bellingham, I would like if he's in because he is pushing up. He does it for Borussia Dortmund, and he did it both games. He actually is one of my favorite plays if he's in. I just am not sure if he's going to play or if he's going to come off the bench. So
Makes sense.
yeah, it's tough for me with the English side, and I do think Wales is gonna play them tough. So and their prices are not favorable on the England side. So for me, a one-off or a two-man, if you're gonna take one of the fullbacks, my preference is Luke Shaw, just because he's significantly cheaper than Trippier, and I don't know how long Trippier goes, or
All right.
if he So that one's
Cool.
tough for me to say.
Makes sense. Mount will probably get a lot of ownership. Luke Shaw as well. I think will probably get a lot. Trippier, the
Yeah.
price is a little bit more. So Wales side, we got looks like you alluded that there are some good prices. Nico Williams, 6,200. On D, Danny Ward, possibly going to see a pretty good shot volume. Looks like he's one of our highest rated, if not our highest value keeper. Harry Wilson in the midfield. Any general thoughts here on the Wales side? How you're attacking these options?
It's Harry Wilson. I like. He's cheap enough, and he's on the indirect sets. Nico Williams again because he has the defensive metrics and he's pushing up, and he's going to be needed to push up on the wing, crossing volume. Hopefully, somebody can connect with assists. So with chances created or assisted shots, volume for DFS purposes, and then Gareth Bale. His price tag to me is still. I can't get to it. I think for 8,600, you might as well go up to Enner Valencia instead of 8,000 for Gareth Bale. But I will say in GPPs, I wouldn't mind some shots on Kiefer Moore. He's a big target, and I don't trust the back line of England. Harry Kane has played a little bit better. He played really good against the U.S. men's national team, but Kiefer Moore that's his game. He attacks headers and stuff, so it's he's cheap enough for goal hunting.
Yeah, 6,100 seems like a random one-off. Could pot you one as well.
And he's not gonna get ownership too. So
yeah, almost no ownership, I think, at that price tag. So both a contrarian play and a decent goal hunting option. Danny Ward as well should be noted. I'm guessing we'll be starting with Wayne Hennessy getting the red card against Iran last game.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Let's move on.
He drop kicked Taremi. It was like the Karate Kid.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. All right, let's move it on to the big one. USA needing a win to advance. Favored in this game as well over Iran. Iran plus 300, USA plus 100. So Iran, pretty big favorites. Second biggest favorites on the slate. Third biggest other than the Netherlands and England. But USA has looked really good, I think, so far in this tournament. Why don't we start with the Iranian side and finish with the best team, best for last, right? First off, though, Jovanni, what if I just said like, hey, here's $200? Would you take $200 from me?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. That's what BetMGM's doing right now. They got a free offer. It expires on Sunday. So $10. Put $10 in your account. Use the link in the description. If any team scores a goal during the World Cup, you get $200, and you get to place a $10 bet that you might win as well. So MGM giving away $200 free. You don't want to not take advantage of these opportunities when they arise. Make sure that you are signing up. Use the link below. It's a no-brainer. That's why they call it a no-brainer, because it's literally free money. Can't beat these books without taking their free money. That's just a no-brainer. Get her done. Thanks, guys. All right, let's roll. Iran. What do we got? How do we spell IRN? There we go. I got it. All right. So a few decent values. Ahsan Hajisafi, 10.66 points, value 2.2. Ahmed Nurolahi. I'm just going to absolutely destroy these. Mehdi Taremi as well, who scored 2 goals, I believe. Is that correct? 2 goals in the game? Maybe one. Maybe one was disallowed. I've drawn a blank there, but live possibly for a goal. What do you think about this Iranian side and what should be a pretty heated battle?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out firing. They're not going to sit back between like the media things back and forth with them. I think they want to make a statement against the U.S. men's national team. I will say that for DFS purposes, Haji Savif is really hard to get away from, just because Jahanbach is suspended, and he was taking their all their set shares, and now Haji Savif is gonna be at least taking, I think, the majority. He was taking some when Jahanbach, I believe, he exited the previous game a little early, so he's hard to get away from. Taremi is a GPP option to me. He doesn't have any floor, but all the goal contributions go through him for Iran. It's he's got like an over 55% goal contribution for the team. So if it's goals, if it's assists, he can pay off the asking price, even though it is one of the highest ones. He's not going to draw any ownership because the asking price and because the money line odds. So even like a 2 to 4% ownership in an MME is worth some shots on him. Only fact is it's very un-American to do that, but aside from him and Sahif for GPPs, I can't really get to Sadr Usman. He's just not showing enough for me. Again, he can score. He's going to be the lone striker up there with Taremi should be on the wing of him, but I can't get to it on the defensive side though. However, who I think will see an uptick on defensive metrics, at least is Ramin Rashian. He's actually a good defender, so I think he's going to get the opportunity. And even if he doesn't push up, he doesn't get you like those crossing or any goal contribution upside. His defensive metrics could see I've projected for like north of a 4.75, 1 tackles and interceptions. Maybe he wins a tackle and draws a foul. That's just going to compound the amount of points. And
Makes sense.
Yeah, if this game ends up being a stalemate and it's 0-0, then Rasirian getting a clean sheet is going to absolutely pay off that asking price.
Yeah, that could be a contrarian play as well, with so many people possibly going to the USA side here,
Correct.
given how we expect fans to approach this. Anyways, Taremi as well seems like a contrarian play. I don't think a lot of people are going to get to him at that price point, but you never know how these things turn out. And like with two other massive favorites on the slate, there's really only one game that should be even mildly close. So you never know what will happen. It might be a nice contrarian stack with Taremi and I'm not going to say the goalkeeper's name. So, all right, let's move it on to the final team of the slate, Team USA. I thought a lot of different guys looked really good against England. They went with a 4-4-2. Weston McKennie as well, really cheap. Our projections don't love him too much, but he was just really involved in a lot of the attack last game for them. Timothy Weah, 6,800. I think he'll be pretty popular. What are you doing with the attack options? Oh, and Serginho Dest as well. It grades out really well for us, and he has been really involved. So, what are you doing with this USA side and some of the players that I just mentioned?
I would have even though he's going to draw the high ownership, like a virtual lock on Christian Pulisic, just because the sets and he'll take the shot volumes, especially if they're not finding goals. He's going to put it on himself to try to score. I do really like the price on Timothy Weah. He has the scoring upside at least. This is the kind of team that he's going to play against, and the game script is they need a win. They can't settle, so they can't get a goal and then sit back and wait like they did with Wales. They're going to have to try to get 2 or 3 goals. So Weah is definitely a scoring option, and his price tag is low enough for me, and I like his movement, especially whether he's on the wing or if he's on like playing the striker role. I still like him because he has capable teammates to cross it in front, and he's a good finisher. And then McKennie, he doesn't grade out well, but he's a good cheap stacking option for GPPs because he does attack on set pieces. He has like that vertical, and you just need him to put the shot on target, and then I think he can find a goal. The thing is, he's a better real life player than a DFS player. Unfortunately, the way the scoring metrics are for a DFS compared to like real life.
Yeah.
And then
what? So you're hitting the lock button on Pulisic?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because I think he should be more of a 10 to 10,100.
Right. huge floor, really good spot, and stacking options abound. Weston McKinney, Timothy Weah as well. Would you pair those two in a lineup pretty easily with Pulisic?
Yeah, you can, or you can go with either Anthony Robinson or Sajino Dance.
Yep.
Dance is a little cheaper, so I might go with that route.
I
He
think
did
he'll
get
get a
a
lot of
goal.
ownership too. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, so my only thing with him is they're not for injury related, but for tactical reasons. I think they there is a chance that I believe it was Reggie Cannon that came on for him last game. So, but I think he can still do enough. His price tag is not asking so much, and I believe he's coming in like lower than Walker Zimmerman, right? What was Walker Zimmerman's DK price?
4,700.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that seems like a misprice.
They're not they're not a clear fit. It's like the same thing on the English side where I think Harry Kane's like 5,800, but I would understand that price or like a $12 or $13 price on
You
FanDuel side.
you mean Harry Maguire, right?
Yeah, Harry Maguire. Yeah, Harry Kane. That price would be awesome.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's the lock of the century.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well we gotta get out of here.
Yep.
But give me your top 3 most owned plays of the slate.
Pulisic is definitely going to be on that list. Idrissa Gueye and probably Pervis Estupiñán.
Not Mason Mount.
No, I'm like I said, I'm not going to talk anybody off of England and off of the Netherlands. I think 1 or 2 plays from each side just for the goal hunting aspect of it works, but I'm scared about the overall minutes for like all the viable people, like the ones you don't want to risk getting injured.
Right, makes total sense to me. Awesome. Don't forget to sign up for the projections as well. Link is below. Jovanni's hard at work on all these. We also get updates before every single once every single lineup is released. So even though we might be doing a little bit of guesswork here with some of these lineups, because you have no choice to, we will have them exactly right once the actual game about an hour before kickoff when they're released. That's going to do it for us. We will be back at the same time tomorrow night. Don't forget to sign up for NHA. Take your $50 free. Don't forget to sign up for BetMGM. That no-brainer. Take your free $200. That's $250 you would not otherwise have there. So make sure to click those links, and it helps us out a lot as well. Appreciate it. All right, Jovanni, any final thoughts?
Yeah, as far as the like I got a lot of questions on Twitter regarding like talking about like subs that could possibly start in the starting rotation. I would say the best place for that is to go in the Discord.
Sign up for the Discord, and if you oh sorry, you cut out there. But if you sign up for the projections as well, you get access to our Discord too. So we will have all that information in there. All right, that's gonna do it for us. We will see you back here tomorrow. Thanks, guys.